Anse was the patriarch of the Hatfield clan during the Hatfield-McCoy feud in the West Virginia-Kentucky border between 1863 and 1891. He led the Hatfields of West Virginia while old Randolph McCoy led the McCoys of Kentucky.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hillbilly Files. My name is Leo, for those of you who don't know, and I will be your host for a little adventure today. I am just outside of Matewan, West Virginia, in a little place called Newtown, West Virginia. Very unusual place, an unusual sight, which I guess that's pretty normal, isn't it, anymore, you know? Normal for us is bringing you guys unusual things. And that's what we're up to today. I am, believe it or not, I am at the mouth of Straight Fork at the birthplace of Devil Anse Hatfield. This is where he was born. Now, I'll just go over the sign real quick. I got a little story for you guys today. Now, William Anderson Devil Anse Hatfield was born at his parents' home here on the Straight Fork of Mate Creek. His birth occurred on September 9th in 1839, and he lived until 1921. He served with distinction in the Civil War and later prospered in the timber industry. Anse and his wife, Levice, had 13 children, and his nephew became governor of West Virginia. However, he is best known as the leader of the Hatfield clan during the famous Hatfield-McCoy feud. There's a statue of Devil Anse at his grave in Sarah Ann, West Virginia. Now, like I said, this is where Devil Anse was actually born, on this little piece of property. But you see, we're not actually here for Devil Anse. On May 23rd of 1853, the mother of William Devil Anse Hatfield did something pretty amazing for the time period. Old Nancy Vance Hatfield, who was over 40 at the time, had two healthy twin boys at her home. Devil Anse, like the sign said, was born in 1839. So by the 1860 census, he had started his own family. But Patterson and his twin, Smith, were 5 at the time. They lived here with their parents, Nancy Vance and Ephraim Hatfield, who was called Big Eph. Now, there's some discrepancy about that, Big Eph, Big F. In 1860, living at home still was 20-year-old Andrew, 18-year-old Ellison, which I'm guessing most of you know who he was, 14-year-old Elias, 13-year-old Emma, and 11-year-old Bridget. By 1880, the twins were 24. Patterson had married a lady named Lucretia Jane Lockhart, and she preferred to be Jane, so we'll go with that. We'll call her Jane. The 1880 census showed a now widowed and aging Nancy Vance living with Pat and Jane, as well as Jane's brother John Lockhart and his wife, also named Jane. So maybe calling her Jane wasn't such a great idea after all. Meanwhile, in 1880, Smith, the other twin, was married to a woman named Elizabeth Harmon, who went by Betty, and they already had 2 children, 5-year-old Lona and a 3-year-old that we can't make out the name. The twins are both listed as farmers, which was very common back then. A lot of people didn't have jobs. They had a house with a farm, and they were considered farmers. By 1900, Patterson is around 46, and his house has exploded with children. He has 8 children living with him at the time. Smith, on the other hand, has 1 daughter with them, Nancy, and 1 boarder named John Thompson, who was 31. This is also where the birth dates of the twins are a bit off, as it shows one being 2 years older than the other. Census back then was to be taken with a grain of salt. They are both still shown as being farmers. On July 4th, 1902, something goes terribly wrong. Patterson somehow dies at the age of 49. To this day, it's still unknown exactly what he died from. But either way, this left Jane to raise this huge family all alone. Meanwhile, his brother Smith continues his life, having many Christmases, birthdays, and seeing grandchildren being born. He also remarried to Louise Hubbard in 1909 before dying at the ripe old age of 85 of ascites due to heart failure. His death certificate lists him as being divorced. Lucretia Jane went on with her life the best she could. Her last census has her living with her children, Henry, Burgess, Anderson, and Martha, who were young adults at the time but hadn't moved out on their own yet. She died at the age of 66 and was laid to rest next to Patterson. Now here in a minute we're going to head up to the Anse Hatfield Cemetery where Ellison is, and we're going to see if we can find Devil Anse Hatfield's twin brothers. That's where we're headed to next. Now this is the Ellison Hatfield Cemetery, just down the road from Straight Fork. It's right up here. I just came right back down this way just a little bit. It's a cold old day today, ain't it? Trust me on that one. It looks cold, but it's a little bit colder than it looks. Now, Asa Harmon McCoy was arguably the first death of the feud, but Ellison's death is the one that really kind of kicked it into high gear. When the McCoy boys killed Ellison at the hog trial cabin, that, more or less kicked it into high gear, really. But anyhow, I'll read the sign to you real fast, and then we'll go up and we'll see if we can't find these two guys. Ellison Hatfield Cemetery. The Ellison Hatfield Cemetery is the final resting place of Devil Anse Hatfield's younger brother, Ellison. Ellison was attacked by 3 of Randall McCoy's sons at the election of 1882 on Blackberry Creek in Pike County, Kentucky. He soon died from his wounds, and the McCoys were executed by the Hatfields. It doesn't say that, but in retribution at the Pawpaw Tree Massacre, the Pawpaw Tree site. This cemetery also holds the remains of Ephraim Hatfield, who was Devil Anse and Ellison's father, known as Big Eve. He settled in this area in the 1830s. Ephraim was a justice of the peace and a well-respected member of the community. Now, like the sign said, this holds also Ephraim is here, and several other Hatfields as well. My mom was a Blair, and there's several Blairs up here on this mountain. My name is My name is Leo New. No relation to the Newtown, you know. Coincidence, of course. I'm technically speaking, I'm a Blair with the name. So that's how that worked out. Heather and I have talked about maybe even having it legally changed, but I don't know if I'd do Blair. I'd do like, I don't know, Leo Dragon Breath or something, you know, something cool. If you're going to do it, make it something cool, right? But anyhow, we'll get up here. We're going to climb this hill, and I'll show you guys a few of the other graves here as well. Show you a few. But we're going to try to find Patterson and Smith. That's who we're looking for today. Devil Anse Hatfield's twin brothers. A lot of steps in it. They're all short too. They're only like 3 inches tall. Little tiny steps. There's enough of them though. There's enough of them. Kind of pretty out, isn't it? Looks cold though. This little snow here and there on the mountains. It's not very high. High enough, I suppose. This little road here dead ends. Right there, as a matter of fact. A lot of tourists, you know, come down to the area, have been here, and seen this old graveyard. Right there's one I'm looking for right there. Matter of fact, right there's one of them. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, that's Pat right there. That's Pat and his wife right here. We found that one. It didn't take long, did it? This is one of them. This is right here. And his wife as well, matter of fact. But we are looking for now Smith. Now this one is a flat one, and it lays on the surface, one of those that lay flat. But that right there is one that we were looking for. That's one of them. Right off the bat. Can't beat that, can you? Now, to see if we can find Smith. I see a couple flat ones there. Nope. And right up here's Ellison. Thought I had it for a second. I thought that was it. It's Ethel Varney. Now right here's Floyd and Sarah and Ellison right there. Let's see, Ephraim here. Ephraim Hatfield right there. And Nancy Vance right beside of him. She's right here. Found it. I found it right here. Smith Hatfield. Right there it is. Found them both. Well, that was quick. I'm used to a little bit more of a struggle than that. This is the Blairs up here, by the way. That's some of Mom's family. It's right up here in the corner. Beautiful old cemetery, though, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Even this time of year. How cool is that? Just walk right up and find both of them. Find both of the graves that you're looking for within a few minutes. That never happens. Okay, that's happened once. I think twice now. Just walk right up on both the graves you're looking for. But that is them. We have actually found them, guys. And now you guys have been, you've seen Devil Anse Hatfield's twin brothers' graves. How cool is that? And Ephraim right here. there's a bunch of them, which there's, you know, it's a Hatfield graveyard. There's several of them. There's several McCoys as well. But there's quite a few of the Hatfield family up here. Like I said, Ellison right there. That is the death, arguably, okay? Said Ellison, when Ellison was killed, and the Hatfields grabbed the three McCoy boys, Tolbert, Farmer, and Bud, Randall Jr., and took them to the Pawpaw Tree site and executed Randall's sons, three of his sons. That is what really kicked the feud into high gear. Interesting, isn't it? A lot of history here. There is a lot of history in southern West Virginia. Not just Hatfields and McCoys either. You know, it's a very rich place historically speaking. Of course, you know, the Hatfield-McCoy feud can't be denied. It can't be denied. And now, guys, you've actually seen the graves of Devil Anse Hatfield's twin brothers. Imagine that. Smith Hatfield right there. It's 1853 to 1937 on the stone, by the way. Now, what was this other one down here? Go take a closer look at that one. Yep. Pat Hatfield. Pat Hatfield. Hard to read the dates. They're both on the same stone. Him and his wife are both listed on the same stone. It's a big one too. It's got to be 4 foot tall. Every bit of 4 foot tall. A big one. But anyway, guys, it looks as though we came out here on a cold day looking for two graves and to tell you a story, and it looks as though we told the story and found the two graves really easy this time. I'm not used to, like I said, I'm not used to that. I'm used to riding the struggle bus for a couple hours when I get to the graveyards. But anyway, we'll take it, won't we? We'll take it. We'll take a win. We'll take the win and be happy about it. Anyway, guys, thank y'all very much for coming along with me today out here on this frigid afternoon, and appreciate you guys coming along and meeting Devil Anse Hatfield's twin brothers. I'm guessing a lot of you probably didn't even know he had twin brothers, but now you do. That's the good thing about it. You know, there's all kinds of, you know, there's these little A&E, you know, they do, and, you know, what, Discovery, they do these little, you know, shows, reality shows, Hatfields and McCoys. There's been like 6 of them, and they'll have, you know, the Hatfields, they're on the Hatfield Ranch, and the McCoys, they're on the McCoy Ranch, and they're feuding and they hate each other. And there's just only one problem with that: none of it's real. There is no Hatfield Ranch. There is no McCoy Ranch. You know, it's all made up, every bit of it. I guess they figure, you know, it's better the entertainment quality than the historical accuracy, but it just seems to me you can make it interesting and fun and keep the historical accuracy and do it all at once and entertain all at the same. At least I hope you're entertained anyway. Hope so. Anyway, guys, like I said, thank you all for coming along. Y'all have a really good day. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like. We'd certainly appreciate you. And y'all have a really good day. And we will see you next time on the Hillbilly Files from Newtown, West Virginia, at the site of Devil Anse Hatfield's, well, a whole bunch of his family, not just his twin brothers, a whole bunch of his family. Anyway, from Newtown, West Virginia, this is Leo with the Hillbilly Files, and we will see you guys next time. Leo out.